It's Tori and Sam, and we are here with, what do you call it, Sam? It's like a review of our side-by-side, the first side-by-side we've ever done on the Valiant Lady Virgin Voyages. Then we hopped onto the Disney Magic. So stay tuned. We're going to tell you about our thoughts. We out ya. All right, guys. So the first thing, let's talk about the cruise atmosphere and the vibe of both of these cruises. So if you guys have been following us for some time, you know, like, we're big Disney cruisers, right? We love a Disney ship. And so this was our very first time getting onto a Virgin voyage. Totally different experiences. So let's just talk about the vibe. So what were your first thoughts, Sam, when you walked onto the Virgin voyage?
More than sure. I was initially, before we were starting to plan it, I was a little reluctant, a little hesitant, didn't really care for it, I guess, is the best way to put it. It wasn't my cup of tea, but from what we saw from some of the other vloggers and videos, I'm a Disney guy, I'm a Disney adult, I'm a Disney nerd. I love Disney, so to go on a non-Disney is kind of a big deal for us, for me. So to get on the Virgin, I was like, okay, I've already paid the money, paid that money. So now I'm like, hey, just be open and see what it is and enjoy. Because when I'm with her, I enjoy myself. So and then we had some friends, and
we had a lot of friends.
Lots and lots of friends. We were celebrating birthdays, lots of birthdays, lots of September birthdays, twins birthday. I think they were turning 50.
Mm-hmm. You putting twins' birthday and business all out in the street.
It was on the vlog.
Right. It was on the vlog. It was on the vlog.
It was on other people's vlog.
Yeah, there were a lot of birthday celebrations on that cruise.
So I was like, okay, just be open. Money's already spent. See what it is, and we're gonna make it do what it do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and agree. We weren't quite sure what to expect, right? Because the Disney cruises is everything that we've done, especially as a family lately. But the atmosphere, it gave grown and sexy, baby. It was relaxing. It was quiet, but still energetic and fun. So two totally different, I think, appeals when you're first stepping on, because when you go on to, or maybe you don't know, but when you step onto a Disney ship, you are announced, your family's announced, it's a big to-do, you have all the applause, and then you get on and you start your vacation. At least by the time that we checked in on the Valiant Lady, things had kind of settled down a little bit. While there were a few crew members around, and we did get the little, what do you call it, the blowhorn or the little thing that, whatever that is. We did get a little excitement coming on, but other than that, it was kind of chill and laid back. So, I mean, I think from our perspective, one's a family cruise, one's an adult-only cruise. So keeping that in mind, I think if you typically travel with your family like we do and you're looking for an adult getaway, Virgin gave us kind of what we were looking for, aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Everything was just laid out beautifully. Oh, let me also add on to that. While of course the Virgin will only be for adult travelers 18 and up, or sailors as we're called on Virgin, I think even if you're a Disney adult, you will enjoy it yourself on a Virgin cruise, and vice versa. If you don't like being around a lot of children, there's still places on most Disney ships where you can steal away in the adults only area, or have some space where you're not seeing the little people running around. So I think, it all depends on what you are looking for.
So one of the things that always surprises me when I'm on cruises is that you're on these cruises with thousands of people. But on both ships on all of our Disney ships that we've ever been on and on the Virgin ship, there are honeycomb hideouts, if you know. If you know, you know, back in the days. There are places on the ships where there's no people. It's like no people, very little. And you're like, there are thousands of people on the ship, but there are always places where you can kind of steal away and not be around the hustle and bustle of the crowds, which is great. And
Right.
even on the Disney ships, like she said, there are places where no kids. And even if you're like, oh, if you don't like kids, you can still go on it. But you like Disney, you can still go on a Disney cruise.
I agree.
And steal away. So I think I need to explain something that I didn't actually, I guess didn't explain, is why I'm was a little reluctant to go on the Virgin. I'm just not a party vibe, atmosphere type person anymore. I get like super anxious, anxiety when there's a lot of partying, atmosphere, a lot of drunk people around, and I just get nervous. I don't like it anymore. So to kind of stay away from it, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna get on this cruise. And I think when we watched a lot of the vloggers, they were single people. They're single, they're young, they're partying, that's what they do, so that's what they show. So when I got on, it was kind of a surprise to see that there are areas, their stomach's going off. I don't know if we're gonna put that in there. It might be in a little outtake, but hey. So to get on the ship and to realize that everything everywhere is not a party, it's not
Right.
basically intoxicated people everywhere.
Right.
You know, so that was kind of like, oh, okay.
All right, cabins and accommodations. Okay, so here, how do I say this? Because I think, and I'm probably going to start talking about the Virgin experience before the Disney experience, just because we sailed that ship first in the side-by-side. But walking into the actual room, it was plenty of space in the actual room for two people, right? You've got your bed. I think there was a chair on the side, and we'll make sure to add the links to those videos when we kind of did a room tour. But the only downside for me, and we had a sea terrace room on the Virgin Voyage. The only real downside for me was the bathroom was small, y'all. That bathroom was small. So like, I'm not a teeny tiny person, so I could maneuver in the bathroom, no problem, but I'm also real finicky. I don't want my bath towel to touch nothing. And so I would actually just get out the shower and step out the bathroom to like dry off and just to have more room. So that would be my only critique, if I had to say, for the Valiant Lady. That bathroom in the sea terrace room was small. Okay, so now on Disney, we had a...
Hold up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't let Sam talk.
Virgin. The bathrooms. So the bathroom, situation, small, but that wasn't my biggest gripe. The beds. Did not like the beds. They felt like freshman year dorm room cots.
They weren't that bad, man.
And then you had to push them together to make the queen size or whatever it was. It was too.
But I will say, I didn't feel like we were sleeping in the crack. I felt like it was pushed together.
I mean, you never had to worry about falling in the crack like I did.
Anyway.
I don't know. That might not make it in. But yeah, the beds, it just wasn't that super comfortable. But you can talk about the hammock.
I didn't talk about the hammock.
I love a balcony. I love a veranda. It just kind of, and the reason why, there's always, like for me, sometimes there's a reason why. A little nostalgic. It reminds me of like sitting on my grandmother's porch and just being free as a child growing up on that porch and the breeze, and it just kind of reminds me of that. So I always love a balcony, a veranda.
That hammock. I said it. Okay, so first of all, when you see the hammock, it's the hammock, right? If you've done some research about going on the ship before, you're like, they have the hammocks on their balcony. Well, baby, I did not know when you sit in the hammock, it wasn't just like a seat. You could stretch all the way out. You could lay flat in the hammock. How did I not know that? I don't know. But once I figured that out, sleep city. This Tori, I love a nap. I love a nap. So I was really trying to look for one of those hammocks to actually bring back home. And they do sell them in the gift shop, but I passed. So the next time, I'm just saying that red hammock might be in my future. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
I've got some footage of her sleeping.
Yeah, y'all.
For some reason, it didn't make the...
We're not going to see that. There's no need for that. There's absolutely no need to see that.
She was knocked out.
Out cold. But y'all don't just take my word for it. It was some good sleep. With the ship sway a little bit. Anywho, Disney, the Disney magic. So we had an inside room, and those inside rooms, I'm telling you, that trip was a quick trip, right? So, if we wanted to really go sit out on the balcony, we could go do that up on the higher decks. But that room was so dark. It was nice and cool. Because it was a inside cabin, we only had the bathroom that had everything in it. So the toilet, the shower, all that was included. Most Disney cabins, especially those with the veranda on Disney, the balconies are called verandas. You do have the first bathroom that has the toilet and a sink, and then the second bathroom has a sink and a tub shower combo, or just shower. So, or shall I say tub shower combo? But the space in that inside cabin, while it's smaller, and it was probably a smaller space than the sea terrace on the Virgin, for two people, plenty enough space. However, I think that cabin could sleep 3 or 4 people. But again, if you're trying to do that with 2 adults and sharing just the one bathroom, it gets a little, you got to work out a schedule. But for us, we love Disney. That we knew what to expect already.
Yeah, didn't get my veranda, but it was fine because we got some good sleep. we got some good sleep in there.
And the beds, them Disney beds.
The beds are.
And I don't know if y'all know this, but you can request, they have different options for your pillows on the Disney cruise. So you can speak with your room steward about that if you want to change. Don't ask me right now because I'll probably tell a fib if I try to start saying what type of pillow options you have. But just know that is a thing.
Okay, so that bed, it's like it hugs you. When you get in, it's like being hugged by a big mama with all, and you're like, oh, this bed. So yeah, the bed was much better than the Virgin bed.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I didn't think the Virgin bed was horrible, the Disney bed, that mattress, baby. As far as amenities in both, you have a mini fridge, you have pretty much your TV. Now, I will say the TV was bigger in Virgin, and it was right directly in front of the bed. It didn't swivel though, and you do get a tablet to control your room controls, to open the curtains, the lighting, the TV, which makes it wonderful so you don't have to get out of the bed. Disney, you get a remote control to control the TV, and there's usually lights by the bed that you can turn off that will at least turn off the light overhead of the bed. I'm not sure if it turns the light off, but go and look at some of our previous Disney videos, and I may describe that in that content. So take a look at that. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when we've dropped some new content. All right, what are we on next, Sam? Food. Ooh, what did you think about the food, the differences?
The food on the Virgin was chef's kiss, muy excelente. I think that's right. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I think the only place that I really didn't enjoy the food was the wake brunch, but they served one of the best things we had on the cruise, and that was the avocado toast, the Benedict avocado toast. I don't know how they say it, but that was one of the best things we had on the ship. But everything else was just kind of, even the service wasn't all, it was okay. But Wake's dinner.
Wait, are you saying you think the service at the Wake wasn't all that, or service overall?
Just Wake brunch.
Oh, okay.
Literally just Wake brunch.
Okay.
But everything, all the others, it was great, top notch. The food was great. There was one other place that overall all of the food wasn't. What was that? The wings were excellent.
RachelDavisL.
The wings were excellent.
The Old Bay wings.
The Old Bay wings were excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was also, I would say, top notch and one of the best things we had. Top 5 best things we had to eat. But the other restaurants, Gambé was fun. It was like super fun. What are the other ones?
So all right, we did that we took these cruises last September 24. And if you've all followed along, I think I have shared that we had problems with our equipment. Like I could not get the equipment to work to be able to produce the video. So it took forever to get it out, right? So we're going off memory here, y'all. Memory. But please go back and look at our videos to see, because we did do fairly in-depth review of all of the places that we ate. And again, apologies for the audio on that series. We were trying out some new microphones, and it did us dirty, y'all. It did us dirty. So anyway, I'm going to agree with Sam as far as all of the dining experiences were good, with the exception of the brunch at the Wake, but Wake dinner was phenomenal. And RachelDavisL left a lot to the imagination. Like, I felt like a lot of those items were lacking. Just like, if you just add even a smidge of salt.
Just a little salt.
Not to make it salty, because we don't cook with a lot of salt here in our home. But having said that, just a little bit more seasoning, little bit. But what I did like about the Virgin Voyages and their whole dining experience, everything is included. There were no upcharges to dine at the Wake. There were no upcharges to dine at Gambé. Included. I love that. So if you were really focused on your budget and you want to experience some of the other dining options, you don't have to worry about that. It's included. Another thing that was really, really good is that there are a whole lot of eateries on this ship. Like, they've got what is it? I think I called this thing Pizza for the first several days on the ship before I realized it was Pizza Palace, I think was the name of the pizza spot. You can get fresh made salads, burgers, ramen, panini sandwiches, whatever. The options, sushi, the options that they have just throughout.
The ramen,
Oh my gosh,
ramen noodle, the ramen
I don't know,
bar?
but we talked about it in another
Noodle
video.
bar, the little spot where we got.
Oh
like,
yeah, and there was a little. Okay, so y'all, our video cut out that night. I think that was after the Scarlet night. But we went. So I don't remember what deck it's on, but they have a little spot where you can get popcorn, candy, all that, and
I was talking about.
oh well, that's what I'm talking about. And they also have various hot dogs and chicken wings. So the candy and the chocolates and all that, you know, you feel like a little kid again. You get your little gummy bears or whatever and have a great time, right? Y'all, why was them chicken wings baked? No, they need to be fried. Virgin, if you're listening, please start frying them wings. Just fry the wings.
That was not it.
It was not. It was not. It was not. But to each their own. Try it. You may like it. It was just a big no for us. And because it was baked, it had a smell that I was averse to. I did not like the way they smell, but I tried it. I still tried it. It wasn't horrible, but for the area that it's in and for the types of foods that they had, I even think they had pretzels or something like that. I think baked chicken wings is not it. Save that for the restaurant. Save that for the galley, but not there. Let's rethink that.
Where was the spot we got the almost like tapas, I guess you call it.
Yes, there was another spot. I think we went there on our day at Costa Maya. They had grilled octopus, grilled shrimp. Oh my gosh, I think some beef. It was phenomenal. So all their little eateries throughout that weren't their like formal dining areas. Amazing, flavored to the T. Yeah, that's all I can say about that.
Coffee spot.
The coffee spot was great. Because we have status with Disney, we were able to be, what do they call it? It's not grandfathered in. What's it called? They matched the status. So we were able to get free coffee every day. And I mean, you can get like plain Jane coffee, but we were able to get a free premium coffee beverage every day.
Mocha, chocolate, frappuccino, latino stuff.
Ain't none of them things called that. You were close. So overall, the food, the dining experiences, because Virgin is big on music, the ambiance,
yeah, that was
spot
nice.
on.
That was nice.
I felt so grown and sexy. Spot on.
Yeah, that was spot on. The ice cream, lick me
till I scream. The ice cream was good.
Clutch my pearls.
Clutch your pearls. Don't clutch the pearls, baby, because that ice cream was good.
Oh, the ice cream was good.
What else? I think that's it for Virgin. The Disney fare is always good. Always good. All right, so with Disney, the way that the dining works with Disney, so with Virgin, the way that the dining works with Virgin is you will go onto the app and schedule out when you want to go to whichever restaurant and pick a time and go to that restaurant. So if you're wanting to do the wake for dinner, the wake for brunch, Gumbe, you're going to go into their app and book all those things. The way that it works on the Disney ships is they assign you. The only thing that you're really picking is if you want an early dinner or a late dinner. And then you're assigned in a rotation to the 3 restaurants that they have on board. And your staff also follow you along in each of those restaurants. So they get to know, food allergies. They get to know the drinks that you like, the foods that you like. If you like with your, because they always kind of give you some type of a dinner roll of some sort with your meal. So if you happen to like just the regular rolls with the plain butter, you can get that and they'll know it and they'll probably bring it to you every time. So that's one plus of dining on Disney. It's just that you get the same wonderful team that follows you around at each restaurant. I will also say, keeping in mind, because of that, when you are tipping your servers, you're tipping just those people that have been assigned to you, right? If you should go and eat, say, lunch at one of the restaurants, the sit-down restaurants that happen to be open for lunch that day, you may not get the same people that serve you for dinner. So as a courtesy, Sam and I, because that may be the only time we see those particular staff members. So we usually always have a little cash in our pockets, and tip them if we're eating at one of the sit-down restaurants for breakfast or lunch. So that is the thing. Or you can always go up to Cabanas, and that's where they have the spread. You can pretty much get anything you want. They've got those crab legs, and peel and eat shrimp. If that's your jam, all you care to eat. That's all I gotta say. Comparing the two, taste-wise, meal-wise, I think because the Disney cruise has the families, like that's, if you've been trying to avoid children because you prefer to cruise without children, you're going to experience that in the Disney restaurants. It's probably going to be loud. And it depends if you're going to a themed restaurant or not, if there's going to be any entertainment happening while you are dining. So keep that in mind. That's pretty much your only option for dinner on a Disney ship, unless you pay for specialty dining, and that all depends upon which ship you're on. So Palo is one of their signature dining experiences. And then it just varies on, if there's more restaurants that you can pay, dine at for an increased charge. Just depends on the ship. So, because Cabanas is not open at night, so you don't have that option to go eat dinner at Cabanas. So hopefully that's helpful. There are no drink packages if you are somebody that, wants alcohol. That's not a thing on Disney. You can get a bar tab on Virgin Voyages if that's what you want. I think there's been some changes lately, but at least when we traveled, you had to get your bar tab before you traveled. I don't think you could get it on board, but that might be some made up news, so take that with a grain of salt. And it also may not be what's happening right now.
Current stuff.
Because again, we did this cruise in September 2024, y'all. Do you have anything else to add to the food?
Not really.
Okay. Entertainment and activities. So, I'm going to start with Disney this go round, because that Disney entertainment, it's literally, you're getting a Broadway caliber show at sea, I should say. The talent is amazing. I believe since when we took that cruise, because it was shorter, we got 2 shows, I think. I think we only got 2, maybe. But again, go back and look at our vlogs, and I tried to at least record what we saw, because on the Disney ships, you also are not allowed to record any of the shows. So, which I think is good, right? Because you're able to be present in the moment and just enjoy the artistry at hand. Because this was a short trip, I don't think they had any like comedians or any jugglers or anything this time on the Disney cruise. And if they did, we didn't partake, I don't think. But the Virgin cruise, their entertainment, the singers were amazing. Like all the musical acts were phenomenal.
What you mean? Musical acts? Like
So,
the
okay.
bands or
Yeah, so the band.
Okay,
So there
the
was like a
bands.
brother and sister. I do not know where they're from. They did have an accent, but I don't know if it was a British accent or not. I can't recall now. Amazing. They were so soulful. They were just I would love to see them perform again. Hopefully we'll get them again on another cruise. There were a few bands that were on that we kind of just saw, like just walking around the ship. They were all good. The DJs, we had two DJs on the ship. And I think they might have both been from the California area. I'm not sure. I know one for sure was. These women were, they got the party going. It was, Miss Brown was dancing. Y'all, I don't,
Just told
good.
people I don't like party atmosphere. You talking about I was dancing? But
watch
the
the
DJs, I think they cater to the demographic, right? And they played like a lot of the old school stuff that I really like, and I will dance. So definitely will dance to the old school stuff. You play some old school hip hop, some 80s, 90s, pop, Michael Jackson, and all that kind of stuff. I will get out there and cut a rug, and
a rug did he cut?
And a rug got cut. But like I think they really played well to the audience and the demographic that was there, and that was like the DJs were like awesome. The whole music entertainment, like even that, like we were talking about the atmospheres and the different places that we were, the music that we were playing, and I'm like, man, this is a bop. You're hearing it, and you're like, oh, this is a bop. I like this. For me, there's not really a comparison between Disney and Virgin. It's not. But I did enjoy the Virgin's entertainment as far as the music. Now
okay, because I was going to ask you, what about the ship show? Because that was kind of like it was giving vaudeville. Like I really like that.
The ship show was like a vaudeville-y, not acrobats, but different things. But the Romeo and Juliet esque acrobatics.
That was good.
Now that I enjoyed.
That was very well done.
I was just in awe of
that was good.
Athleticism, their stamina, because I'm getting old. Like, how in the world are they still doing that kind of stuff?
What did you think about the drag show?
Nah, not the drag show.
It was entertaining.
It was a show. I keep saying that.
It was entertaining. So would I go back again if it's just Sam and I? Probably not. But if it's a group of us, most definitely. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was entertaining. I did. We saw another show too.
That wild, crazy one.
Okay. It was the dance party, Untitled Dance Party thingy or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. And everything was, fine. It was different. It was way out of anything that we probably would have done.
I was trying to figure out what
was happening.
What were we doing? What were we supposed to do here? Are we supposed to watch them dance?
Are we supposed to interact? Is it just a free for all?
What's going on here?
We didn't really know.
I was confused.
But we stayed. We stayed to the end. We did, and had a good time. Once the lady that got up and started singing, she was towards the end of the show, or at least that's when we decided we were done. How are you on a ship, and you singing the Titanic song? The Titanic sang.
Song,
I don't want to hear the Titanic song when I'm on the ship.
Don't nobody want to hear that.
And her eyes were all glowing red. I was like, no. I was good up until that, and then I was like, y'all, I'm ready to go. But
y'all
it was
know
good.
us, y'all don't know us, whatever. But we do not do anything scary.
Oh yeah, no, it's not happening.
Scary
There's no
movies,
need.
horror movies, remotely scary stuff. She don't really like suspense stuff, so I mean, I'm okay with suspense.
Depends on the suspense. But yeah, no, we not. Your eyes glowing red and you singing the Titanic song? No, ma'am.
So Sinners is probably the scariest thing we've watched.
And I watched it like this.
In a long time. What's that other one we watched a couple years ago? We just saw the where the black people was in the thing when the man was chasing them and they were. That was kind of a comedy. It was scary.
Black something. It was called Black something.
I can't remember.
I don't know, Sam. That movie's like 2, 3, 4 years old.
Yeah, that's a lot. We don't do scary stuff.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I mean, overall, the entertainment, you really can't compare the entertainment. It's just totally different. Of course, on the Disney ships, you also get the opportunity to meet all of your friends, the characters. You get to take pictures with princesses, and you have all these just wonderful opportunities to meet all your favorite characters, right? But I will say, when you get on Disney, if you know that that's something that you want to do and you've bought the photo package, heart those things in the app, in the Disney Navigator app, so that you know when your favorite character is going to be out. Because, baby, you want to be there in line on time if you're going to get those pictures. Because, I mean, if you go late, there's a chance that they will cut the line off. And then if you really, really want a picture, then you've got to wait for the next character, or you've got to wait for your favorite character to come back out. And it may not be that day. So keep that in mind. I don't think I noticed any picture taking on the Virgin Voyage at all. From like... I don't think so. I don't think I recall that was even a thing at all. All right, go ahead.
I think on both, and it's probably is like this on all cruise lines, maybe, but on both cruises of ships, there are areas where you can just like relax, listen to music in like a little bar area. And it's on Disney, it's on Virgin, and you just want to just chill, listen to the band, listen to whoever's singing, whatever. That's also because that's in the D lounge area on Disney, and then Virgin had a few spots and a few places where you could do the same thing.
Right. Now, I don't know if, and I guess this kind of still falls into like the entertainment aspects. I don't recall. Oh no. We'll talk about that later. Excursions. We did not do any excursions on either ship. We did get off at Costa Maya, and I believe that, and Bimini. Y'all.
Bimini.
This is the second time I've gone to Bimini, different cruise line. But your girl almost passed out via heat exhaustion. I'm giving Bimini one more try. If it don't work out, if Bimini doesn't work out for me this third time, I'm going to have to say I'll stay on the ship any other time we go to Bimini. But.
So we didn't get to enjoy Bimini. So.
Nope. We got there a little bit after everybody. I didn't even get to put my foot in the water. So anywho, we'll try one more time. So we didn't do any excursions though, but the facilities that they have out, the Virgin Voyage in Bimini area that they have out is beautifully laid out. They got there. I don't know what they call, I'm sure there's a name for the group of crew members that like get the party started and dance and everything. They were out there doing their things around the pool. The pool was packed. A lot of areas to sit. Of course, we left before I had an opportunity to eat anything. So we can't really, tell you guys about that. But there's that. All right, so let's talk about service and staff experiences. So both ships, amazing service. No complaints. But what I will say is, the Virgin staff seemed really, what's the best way? Is unstressed a word? They did not seem stressed at all. They seemed to really enjoy their work. It didn't seem like there was a lot of pressure in being a crew member. yeah, it came across that way. And as I'm saying this, I'm not saying that I feel like the Disney cast members come across that way, but I think it was just a little bit more laid back vibe from the staff, still meeting our needs as guests on board, but it just didn't seem as, what's a good word? Tense? Is tense a good word? I don't think tense is a good word. They just seemed chill. They did not seem like they were on high alert. Yeah, at work. But all the while still providing and giving great customer service, which I think helps along with that chill vibe. Yeah, I agree. I think that's, yeah.
Because even the waiter at Gambe.
Oh, he was phenomenal.
He was kind of telling us
very personable.
He was kind of telling us that it's not as, I don't know, like we're trying to figure out the words, but he was very, very chill, laid back, and again provided all the good service. So that was great.
Right.
Different.
Technology on board. No free internet for Disney unless you're in concierge, and then I think that's only the first day.
I think it's the first 24.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, because I can't remember, that means we need to be in concierge soon. Anywho, there's free Wi-Fi on Virgin. That I do recall because that was unique. Also, as far as like getting around, so they gave you a little bracelet that basically housed everything. It got you into your room. If you wanted to make a purchase on board, which some things I know we said earlier that all the food were included, but if you wanted that specialty coffee, that was a fee. Like I think if you needed to buy things on board out of the gift shop, those things like that, you could use your band to pay for them. As well as on the Disney ship, you have your Disney Magic Bands or your Key to the World card that you can use to make purchases and things like that. So those are they're equal. As far as the apps, the Navigator app on Disney, you have the capability to chat with other people in your group and text on the Navigator app. What else do you use that app for? To see the things that you've planned out for yourself already. If you did any excursion, what the shows are, where your favorite
characters.
Where your favorite characters are, just different things going on. Like they have karaoke, they have adult karaoke, they've got different trivia throughout. So it's like your daily schedule. So I feel like we use the Disney Navigator app a lot more than using the Virgin app. I've heard people just in their experiences complaining about the app. I really didn't have any issues using the app at all. I don't recall having to go into the app a lot. I think maybe mainly to find out where we had booked dinner, like trying to make sure on what time. Well, that's not true. We did go in when we wanted to confirm like the times for the different shows. And so, but I don't think, yeah. Oh, entertainment. I did forget this. The Virgin Cruise does have a casino. But was it a smoke-free casino? Because I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'll look that up before we post this and put it down to the bottom somewhere. And again, thank you all for hanging in with us this far in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Wellness and fitness activities. So We didn't do any of that on this cruise, but I do believe we went and did tours of at least the Virgin Voyage. And if we didn't do it, if you go back through and watch that series, if we didn't do it for the Magic, we should have some content from previous cruises. So I'll try to remember to attach those in the description, not the description, but at the end card of this video, so that you could just click on it and go right to it. All right, y'all. So pricing, like, do we feel like we got the value for our money? I'll let Sam handle that because he likes to talk money talk.
On Virgin, yes. I think the pricing was very good. I love the all-inclusiveness of it. You literally could get on the ship and not spend another dime. And
including tips, because your tips are already included.
You do that up front. You've already budgeted everything you need. Everything's paid for. You could get on, enjoy your time, and not spend any more money, and have all, like the dining, your drinks, and that's like, soda and stuff like that.
Yeah, because alcoholic beverages, there
and even
is
if you,
there's a fee.
What's this stuff called? It's Sailor Loot.
Yeah.
The other thing.
It's the bar tab, I think.
Okay, so the Sailor Loot you could actually use for.
Yeah, because it's your loot.
Your coffee, drink, or if you want to drink alcohol, you can use it for that too. So,
but like Disney, your soft drinks, your things like that are included.
Yeah. I like that.
So for people who cruise other cruise lines and they're out there lugging around the 6-pack of whatever drink because they want, you don't have to do that. You don't gotta do that.
No, we ain't doing that.
Well, we have done that on the Carnival. On the Carnival cruise, we were lugging.
I think it dropped it and did all kinds of I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like this. But I like the all inclusiveness of it. And so yes, Virgin, and the price point was good for us, for just the two of us, for what we had and entertainment. So I thought we got good value for it. And so yeah, but Disney's a little different. Disney's a little different. That's why it's not really comparison. Disney's different.
But okay, even though it's different, do you think you got your value?
But the room that we got, it seems like when I talk about Disney, the value for it is, I'll pay extra to get on a Disney cruise.
That's our happy place.
The room that we got, the inside room, for what we paid, yes, we definitely got our money's worth and value, and for us, for sure, if we could do it every time, we'd do concierge every single time.
Every time,
because it's just the Disney service is top notch regardless. But when you get into concierge, it's like next level.
And I'll say it's top notch for. Again, it's not a luxury cruise, right? You're not getting a bottle of Dom Perignon in your room.
If you're in concierge level, and then especially if you do the suites in concierge, I would consider that a luxury cruise. And even concierge, that's luxury to me.
I love a concierge.
Because when we were not on this ship, but when we were on the Wish,
oh my God.
When we were on the concierge and the Wish, I didn't want to leave.
And that series, I'm glad we did it the way we did it. That was our first back-to-back cruise on the Wish, where we went solo and, really our first back-to-back cruise. But we booked in an inside cabin first and then did concierge.
Oh, we forgot. Top notch.
Absolutely. What did we forget?
We got the tour, Virgin's, I don't know what you call it for them, with our friends.
Oh yeah, the rock star.
CJ and Cleo. Shout out to you, CJ and Cleo.
That's in the video too, so you can see with that the rock star. Not lounge, but the rock star deck. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a private area for those rock star guests. And they've got a bar back there. They've got a lot of loungers. I think 2 hot tubs, but we did a little tour of that too, so you can check that out. But again, I think for what we paid and for the room types that we had, I think we got a bang for our buck for both cruises. We are a family of 5, so typically when we're on a Disney cruise traveling with all 5 of us,
it's expensive.
it gets expensive. But again, you get if Disney is really your thing, man, you pay, period. And we do. And we love it. Thank you. So let's wrap this thing up, because this was supposed to be a really quick video.
I'm hungry. It's something to eat. It's 2:45. She ain't feeding me. Oh, sorry. Like I can't
make
feed
some
myself.
grits.
I can feed myself. But
Right. Let's do some grits.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we got leftovers. Oh, guys. Okay. This is totally off. We'll come back to that. I won't even go into that. Stay tuned. Let's wrap this up. Let's give some reflections. Some reflections. And
hey, I enjoyed both cruises. I was pleasantly surprised by Virgin that I really enjoyed the Virgin cruise. I knew I was going to enjoy Disney, so that wasn't a thing. I already know. The food was excellent on the Virgin. And that's one of my requirements. If I'm on another cruise line, oh man, please, that food needs to be great. I gotta like the food.
Yep.
So I enjoyed the no kids. I knew I would enjoy it, but I didn't know how much I would enjoy it.
it was quiet.
It was so adult.
It was quiet.
And just adulty. It's just like, it was so chill and so
And because
quiet,
of that,
yeah.
Had we had this to do over again, have the opportunity to do another side by side,
No. This.
we would definitely
is
do the Disney cruise first. Because when we got on, and mind you,
We are Disney people.
we are Disney people.
We know there's kids. We
We
know
are Disney
there's
cruisers. We
families.
love a Disney cruise. We have children. They were little people at one point. So we get it. We get the crying when we're exhausted. We get the crying because we don't want to stand in line anymore. We get the frustrated parents who are like, I just want a vacation. We get all of that. But after you disembark from an adults-only cruise and you do that,
No, that's
that
a
was
no.
rough.
That's a no for me,
That was rough.
Alex.
And
That's
it was a
no.
3-day cruise on a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of families, a lot of littles, a lot of, like when I say families, like whole families.
Whole
like you,
families.
like family reunion-ish looking. Like
Meemaw
that many.
and Meemaw,
Meemaw,
Papa,
aunties.
everybody.
Everybody. So.
And one big gripe sometimes you have on a Disney cruise, and especially for some reason it was this one, or maybe we noticed it even more because we were on the Virgin All Adult and then we got on those. I don't blame the kids, because kids are going to be kids. We had them when they were little, and the younger kids, but them adults was not monitoring their kids. I mean,
They were on vacation, honey.
The parents were on vacation, standing right there while the kids. I mean, I'm like, come on, man, your kid is like.
And the thing that I don't get about that is Disney has camp for the kids, or not camp, what do you call
Yeah,
it?
kids,
Kids clubs.
kids clubs.
So for various different
rides,
ages.
all ages, just about.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
all
saying? You
ages.
can have your kids. I know, sometimes people on vacation don't want to pawn their kids off, or the kids may not want to go. So having said that, if you're going to keep your little person with you, monitor your children.
Monitor your cheering.
Please, that's it. That's all. Everybody's there to have a good time. And I just think that it was so like, woof. And I'm sure it had to do with we were so laid back from the Virgin cruise coming on to the family cruise that it was just like a shock to the system. But the thing we will do is do the Disney cruise first. And then do the Virgin.
Yeah.
Period. That's just that. Again, I think, would we do them again? Of course, the answer is yes to Disney. The answer is yes to Virgin, because honey, Virgin owes me nothing. For two people who weren't sure that that's something that we wanted to do. And there is something about not having the guilt of solo cruising without the family, because if we go non-adult,
who got guilt?
I mean, leaving my baby.
Man, bump them
baby.
kids.
So going on the Virgin cruise, well, the youngest one can't go. The older two are able to go, but I don't feel as guilty. So yes, we would definitely do it again. Again, I think. Even if you're not you're somebody who doesn't really like to travel with being around a lot of kids, I think you can manage that on the Disney cruise.
You still can.
If you just flat out don't care for Disney, then that's not going to be the cruise for you.
Okay, remember that couple?
Yep, we met a couple.
They were an older couple.
They're not older. They were not older.
I thought they were like
Nope. They were our age. You're getting old. These people were not old. They were our age.
No.
That sat next to us by the coffee and that talked to us, and the husband wanted to do the Virgin.
Okay, we're talking about two different things.
Oh, we're talking about two different things.
The couple on the Virgin. Yeah, we were trying to convince the wife
to come on over to because they like. I think they do Disney. I think they've done Disney.
They've done Disney, but she's like, I don't want to do a cruise. But we were like, no, you can do it.
And then we get on the little 3-day cruise, and then we were like, oh my God, this would not have been a good cruise.
No, I was talking about the older couple we met on, I believe it was the Wish Concierge, and they liked going on the Disney cruises, but of course they were like trying to do their best to avoid the children, a lot of the children.
Which can be done.
They didn't go into a number of the restaurants because they were like, oh, it's too loud.
I think also the trick with that is
they still cruise Disney.
The trick with that is if you for whatever reason choose not to take advantage of concierge, or even have concierge that has a hot galley, which some of the ships do. If you choose to go and just dine in like their specialty dining restaurants like Palo or something like that, you do have the option to go to dine in places where children aren't able to attend, right? But also, I will say, I think you can manage from the Virgin cruiser to a Disney cruise. Definitely your Disney cruiser can manage themselves on a Virgin cruise. So I really think, just some key things to take into consideration. If you're into Disney, and you're not sure about the families and the kids, I say give it a try. You won't know until you do it, right? Give it a try. For us, we'll be doing both. Yeah. It's safe to say.
You can do both. And on the Virgin, say like, okay, you're not a party person, you don't like the certain atmospheres, you don't have to do any of it.
You don't.
You don't have to do any of it. They cater to, I think they cater well to adults. So whatever that means, a broad adult.
Right.
You cater well. You don't have to do any of the parties, atmosphere.
You do not.
And still really enjoy.
But even I will say,
yourself.
even in the partying atmosphere on Virgin, though, it didn't feel like frat party.
No.
It didn't give those vibes.
It didn't feel like
people.
Didn't feel like clubs back in the days type vibe.
What kind of clubs were you going to?
The wrong ones. Some of the wrong ones.
It did give grown and sexy. That's all I can say. Grown and sexy.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Grown and sexy?
Does anybody know what that means?
All right, guys. So comment below if you know what grown and sexy means. All right, guys. So comment below if you've ever done a Virgin or Disney, and would you consider doing a side-by-side? Any one of those. Comment any one of those and let us know. So right now, if you're following along with us and you've subscribed, we are working on our California series when we made a trek out to Cali to do Disneyland for the first time with the family. And we also cruised. All right, guys. So we're working currently on our California vlogs that you can see there where Sam's pointing. We went out to Cali for a first time ever doing Disneyland. We had done DCA before, but not Disneyland.
That's a whole thing.
That's the whole thing. And what else? We did a cruise. We went to Catalina Island. Yeah, so we're in the middle of that series. So stay tuned. Also, let us know if there's anything else that you'd like to see us do. Again, we are in Central Florida, so if there's anything that you're curious about here when you're traveling in before your cruise, let us know below. So until next time, peace.